All right. All right. All right. Um, Man, I wasn't going to discuss this, but I'm gonna say my comrades. I think some of them trying to be a little messy, but but I'll roll with it. Listen, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I've had a couple people reach out to me and ask me, basically my thoughts on the whole doctorate, honorary doctorate, how I feel about it, all this stuff that's happening in social media world and so forth. So I'll say this from the very beginning, right? I am not opposed to someone receiving an honorary doctorate. I am not opposed to it. As a matter of fact, by the grace of God, I was extended that opportunity a while ago, but of course, through counsel of the queen, of my wife, she really suggested and recommended that I didn't go that route, which I'm thankful that I did not go the honorary doctorate route. However, let me say this, okay? Again, I am not opposed to anyone receiving a honorary doctorate. It doesn't bother me one bit. It does not take away from those of us who have earned a doctorate. As a matter of fact, I will even take it a step further, and I will say that many people that has imparted in my life personally, they've had honorary doctorates, right? So I don't think that anything is wrong with it. I don't think you having an honorary doctorate or a doctorate, earned doctorate, makes any individual better than the next. I do believe that lived experiences adds to the validation of being able to embrace such a title. And those of you that know me know that I am not a title driven person. But being on the other side of the spectrum now, right? I can honestly say that, listen, it is tough. It is tough to go through that process, the journey of obtaining a doctorate degree. It is not easy at all. And, I can look back now and say that with total confidence and total assurance in that statement, because in the beginning, when I first went after this doctorate, again, I'm an avid reader. I love to study. I love to learn, right? And so I thought it was going to be one of those things where I'll get my routine and boom, all of a sudden it'd just happen for me, right? For lack of better words, y'all, it is not easy at all. It's not easy at all. So getting a doctorate is not something, in my opinion, that needs to be just simply overlooked, right? The person or persons that have endured this journey, my hat goes off to you. I salute you, my friend, because from experience, it's no joke. It is no joke at all. It takes a mental strain on you, sometimes physical. It definitely impacts your relationships, and sometimes, some people, it impacts their health as well. It's a journey for sure. But let me speak on this real quick, right? Honorary doctorate or earned doctorate. Again, my thing is this: if you have made an impact in someone's life to the point where they are a better person as a result of what you've helped them to break through or overcome, I think you should be acknowledged for that. 100%. I think you should be acknowledged. Do I personally believe that everybody that has made a significant impact deserves a honorary doctorate? Probably not. I think most people that have an honorary doctorate unfortunately, now this is just my opinion, okay? I think that most people that have an honorary doctorate have one strictly for the sake of really status. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I think it's status more than anything. But I do want to bring a little bit of awareness to this conversation. And again, if you haven't been paying attention, there has been a prominent figure. I won't say any names. There has been a prominent figure in the coaching space that has unfortunately, in my opinion, is starting to experience a tarnishing of their name because they use the term doctor in front of their name. And again, it's nothing, this individual is not doing anything that many people have not done over the years. I think the issue at this point is whether or not it can be validated, right? And then in addition to that, credentials and stuff of that nature. All of that is important if you're going to be doing what you do. For example, let me say this, right? I personally, I have many certifications. I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified emotional intelligence coach. I'm a certified NLP master practitioner. I have my Lean Six Sigma black belt now. And so I have many certifications. However, in all of those certifications, it doesn't necessarily mean that I go around and I publicize it, right? But a certification, family, is different, much different than a degree, okay? Much different than a degree. One of the questions that I always ask myself, especially now more recently than before, is why is it that the honorary doctorate is something that is given opposed to a honorary or prestigious certification, award, or something like that, right? Again, it doesn't take anything away from any of us that has earned a doctorate, but again, I'll say this, being on the other side of the equation, it is sometimes a slap in the face. It is sometimes a slap in the face to be categorized as the same as if what we went through is not significant, okay? I don't think this is a matter of the impact that you made in someone's life. And I think that's the part that people are missing. It's not a matter of whether or not you made an impact in someone's life. It's whether or not you have the ability to validate the honor that comes with saying, I'm a doctor, right? It is a slap in the face. I'll be honest. It is a slap in the face if you know, that is, if it's done in a way that's comparing, right? Or a comparison. So here's the other thing too. There's also a misconception that just because an individual has a doctorate, then they must have a published dissertation. Now, here's the thing, okay? Because so many people are talking about, well, if you have your doctorate, you know, why can't we find your dissertation? Here's the thing. As a doctor, okay, as a doctor, I was required through my program to do a capstone project. It's different from a dissertation process, in the rigor that goes along with it is very similar, but I did a capstone project, okay? My capstone, based off of the guidelines that the School of Business put in place for my program, I'm not allowed to publish my capstone. However, here's the difference. However, I can show you validation that the degree of Doctor of Strategic Leadership has been conferred. That's a big difference than just saying I'm doctor, okay? Or call me Dr. So-and-so. Listen, be careful. Be careful, because I think what's happening now is that many people that have gone through the years and have somewhat demanded that someone reference them as doctors, they're being called to the carpet right now. And many of them, if you're paying attention, are starting to omit that in their post and in their names and so forth, because again, you know, it's something that is to, in my opinion, now be respected. It really is. It's not an easy thing, family. So but you know, that's the thing. Credentials, publicize the credentials. I'm all for it. But please, 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 please be aware. Be aware of deeming yourself as doctor when you have not gone through the bumps and the bruises to be qualified, quote unquote, qualified as doctor. Again, it doesn't take anything away from those of us that have earned it, but it's just, I guess it's more of a respect thing, right? My suggestion for anybody that is considering going this route, pray about it. For real. Pray about it, and make sure that you have the support that will allow you to endure it until the end, because it is a strain. It is a strain. Not, and I'm not saying that in a way to kind of deter you, but I wish someone really laid it out for me beforehand so I can mentally prepare for it. You will be up for multiple nights. The discipline that's required in order to endure this journey is nothing to be shunned off as just a mere thing, as a mere, you know, this just another degree. No way. Hands down, this has been probably one of the most mind challenging goals that I set for myself, that I have to say I'm proud of myself. Now, many of you saw just recently that I posted like the graduation, the hooding ceremony and so forth. And I sincerely appreciate your congratulations and so forth. The degree was actually conferred back in August. However, the hooding ceremony took place at the time of this recording just a little over, really just a few days ago. So it was really a touching moment for me, and it was one that I didn't realize I needed. That's you know, we'll talk about that in another video. But earned doctorate versus honorary doctorate. I want you to chime in below, right? My fellow doctors, I want you to chime in below. Again, this is not a bash session. I'm not cracking down on anybody that utilizes the title of doctor, whether it's honorary or earned doctorate. However, there is a difference. Okay, there is a difference. So in your publicizing the title of doctor, just be mindful that those of us that have gone through the process, it's different. It is different. But those of you, again, that have the honorary doctors bestowed upon you, I'll speak from the position of having an earned doctorate. I sincerely thank you for the impact that you make in other people's lives, right? If you did not have, you know, the backing of the impact that you made in people's lives, then, hey, no one would even consider you to have an honorary doctorate. So for that, we do say we salute you for the work that you do. You are to be commended. You are to be appreciated for what you do. But there is a difference. There is a difference. It's crazy. I didn't think I was actually going to talk about this, but I'm amazed at how many people actually have, you know, text me and inbox me and ask like, okay, what do you think about this? And I'm just giving my 2 cents, right? So that's the thing. That's the thing. Now, I will say this too. And some of you guys may know this, but here's the thing. Most people that have an honorary doctorate, they got it in a couple ways. Number one, the university in and of itself, or the institution in and of itself, saw fit to acknowledge them for the work that they do, right? Or, and I'll be honest, this is where a lot of people fall into play. A lot of people fall into play is that they have personally contacted the university and they have paid for honorary doctorate based off of what they perceive to be life experiences that justify them receiving an honorary doctorate. Now, the process that it takes in order for that to be bestowed, of course, every university or institution has their own guidelines in order to do that, but usually most of them are the same. But the thing is, you have to remember too that those that have honorary doctorates is really publicity for the university or the institution. So, you know, there's a lot that goes into it, but those that have earned a doctorate, myself included, we take great pride in what God has allowed us to be able to accomplish, because statistically, we, specifically us of African American culture, culture, is this: we serve roughly about 2% of the population that has this degree. That's huge. That's huge. So, you know, for lack of better words and all intensive purposes, you know, we only ask that you just put some respect on our name, because we work for this thing. We work for this thing. So I love y'all. Just wanted to jump on here really quick. I always say that, don't I? Really quick. But I wanted to jump on here and just give my 2 cents. You know, continue doing the work that you do. Continue to be a blessing for others. And by all means, remember that regardless of if you hold a honorary doctorate or an earned doctorate, you have a specific purpose that the world needs. Or you have a specific purpose that is an answer to a problem that exists in the world right now. So regardless, we need you to be your authentic self, but don't get caught up in the title. Don't get caught up in the title. All right. So go ahead and chime in on this conversation. Chime in on this. I want to hear your input on it. And let's keep the conversation going. Again, this is not a bashing session, just my 2 cents, because some of you asked for it. So I'll give it to you. Now, I'm going to sign out with what I always say, and that is, when you are living in your purpose, there's no such thing as competition. Until next time, Dr. Michael Lee Lewis, signing out.